Welcome, everybody. So happy to be here with you today on this Friday, August 1st. We are 5 days into the Lionsgate portal. The energy that has been picking up around here has been very intense. We're in the midst of 5 different retrogrades. And so I wanted to really share with you the importance of heart coherence in the midst of this incredible portal of energy, because Leo rules the heart and the spine. And with the heart and the spine being ruled, especially during the Lionsgate portal, what happens is we're receiving so many different activations right now, light codes, DNA, recodes, and ascension codes, like all these different codes that are coming in. And what it is basically these particles of light that are pulled into our atmosphere based on different things that hold alignment. And with the sun being in Leo right now, the alignment to Sirius being completely revealed to us. So I want to make it clear that when we are in the Lionsgate portal, this is not a perfect alignment between the sun and the star system of Sirius, because the star system of Sirius is located behind the constellation of Cancer. And so what happens is, like, as we're moving through, like, we've already passed the Sirius gateway, which happens in early July. So July 3rd to July 7th, the sun, our sun, our central sun, is perfectly aligned with the star system of Sirius. And the compound of this conjunction energy, all of the light particles that are filtering into our atmosphere during that time frame open up a lot of opportunity for ascension, for raising the consciousness, manifestation, abundance, and really becoming very clear on what it is that you're here to do, knowing that, like, there is a greater opportunity being offered, and that path is going to become more clear in the time to come, which is when the sun actually moves out of Cancer, goes into Leo. Okay, so this brings up a lot of questions of, well, what are all of these different light codes? What do they mean? How do they impact me? How do I know that I'm receiving all of this energy to support my heart coherence and my ability to manifest all of this abundance, right? These are the questions that most people that are in my world have in regards to the Lionsgate portal, especially if they're not very familiar with that energy. So this is me explaining it to you, and we may do a brief activation. So in the quantum world, there are just infinite subparticles of energy, and light energy is constantly flooding our atmosphere. This is a very big component of human design as well, knowing that all of these things that are happening within the quantum field, and as they pass through the cosmos, they touch planets, they touch asteroids, they touch different celestial bodies on their way to us. And so as they are passing through, they are picking up the frequencies of what they touch. So for those of us who are here now, we are in this time of Leo, where the sun is in Leo, where we are in this massive manifestation portal of abundance, of growth, of manifestation. The particles that are pouring into our atmosphere support a higher expression of DNA alignment to support that growth and that the manifestation towards abundance and towards higher purpose and power and those things. What we've experienced a lot is the release of more egoic attachment. We are also releasing a lot of illusion. We're clearing a lot of karma. Why is it coming in so strongly for this particular Lionsgate is because we are also in a Neptune retrograde and a Saturn retrograde. And so in addition to Mercury retrograde and then Pluto retrograde, and then I believe Chiron just went retrograde. And so what that tells me for this time frame is that we are actually clearing so much from our systems. And so this is also a time of, you may feel like you want to retreat. You may feel like you want to take a step back. You may feel like, I don't want to be around other people right now. I just don't want to socialize. I feel like my battery is very low. You might feel like you're a little bit more reclusive. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think we also tend to be very harsh and judgmental towards ourselves when we feel like we want to take a step back from things, right? Like, I just know from personal experience that there are times that I have felt like I should be doing more and that I should be more available and I should be more present. And my body didn't want that at all. And so it felt like I had to push myself to do things and to be places with different situations that I really just didn't want to. My body, everything in my body wisdom was saying, no, 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 no. And unfortunately, those times I let my head override my body wisdom. And if anybody knows anything about human design in here, like your head, your mind, the thinking part of you is not here to be guiding the path. It is not here to source the authority of your direction or where you belong and what you should be doing and who you should be with. It's never going to come from your head. It's just not. And honestly, when you really think about all of the different choices that you have made, a lot of the things that were more logical, practical, methodical in your brain, like, okay, this makes sense, let me do it this way, possibly coming from more of an ego attachment versus like a faith-based thing, like, okay, I guess I could try it this way and we'll see what happens. I think a lot of times we actually just put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and because we lack trust and faith, we will try to tune into the more logical approach, what is more practical, and because it just makes sense. It's like, well, the likelihood of this being effective is stronger than me just coming in on blind faith and seeing how that goes. And a lot of that just comes from survival. A lot of that comes from being a human. A lot of that comes from the first three chakras in your body, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, that is trying to keep you alive, and not necessarily tapping into the bridge that is the heart and the gateway to the higher chakras that are actually going to support the higher level manifestations of limitlessness, of potentiality, of endless opportunity and stuff like that. And so we continue to tear ourselves down, we continue to tear ourselves apart because we keep having this vision and this imagery in our head of how it should be, what it should look like, and who we should be as we show up for these things. Now, there is 100%, like, I'm just going to say, you do have to line up in a certain way, like how you embody yourself. If you embody the version that is, I'm so scared and there's nothing and oh my God, it's not working. Oh my God, what is going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. Like that is the embodiment in your body. Like that is what you feel in your body. That is where the consciousness in your body, like this is what it says. This is where it's coming from, blah, 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 blah. I just want you to know, like, that is what makes it really difficult to break cycles. Okay. Because your unconscious mind is really all locked into your body. And if something doesn't feel safe in the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the chances of you manifesting that in your life it's a lot smaller. It's just a lot smaller. It doesn't mean that you won't do it. It just means that this takes a lot more time. It could take years. It could, something that you are desiring for the next 6 months could essentially take multiple years if it does not feel safe in your body and you can't get it to feel safe in your body by forcing it and thinking that it should be there, so why isn't it there? So I would say that in order to really manifest, to really vibrationally match and magnetize what it is that you desire, you do want to be that person. You want to feel like that person. And that can be very difficult because there are some things that you desire that you've never had before. And so how do you know what it is that you are to embody to receive it, right? And so this is, I think, also where a lot of frustration can build up. Frustration for generators and manifesting generators, anger for manifestors, and also manifesting generators, and then feeling that bitterness as a projector, feeling that disappointment as a reflector. And so those are non-self themes to who you are. And so if you feel stuck and you feel like it's not working and I can't make this happen and I can't have this and I really want it, and I thought that if I just thought about this enough that it would be here. And we've all experienced these components of mainstream manifestation that if I think about it enough, it'll be here. But the thing is that you don't think about it enough. You know what I mean? Because the desire that comes from your thoughts are very powerful manifestors. So you have to imagine that there's an energy field coming off of you that is your aura. And everybody has one. We are completely bioelectric beings. You know, we are this cross between divinity and human. And we carry this massive amount of energy within our body and within our field. And so what feeds that field from within are your thoughts and your emotions and your beliefs. And those are also the things that conjure up your identity. And so when you're thinking to yourself, like, why isn't it working? I want you to be really, really clear on how you feel about your identity. What does your identity say to the world about who you are? Is it an embodied identity of no matter what, I'm just so grateful I have air in my lungs. I'm just so grateful that, you know, when I turned the faucet on, water came out. I'm just so grateful that when I got in my car this morning to start it, because I had to go to the store and pick up things, which I did, it started right up. Because there are so many times in my life that I can absolutely recall where that didn't happen, where I woke up sick, and I woke up where there was a leak under, you know, my sink in the kitchen, or I opened the refrigerator and it was not freezing cold. There were times that, oh my God, we had a plumbing issue. We had to have work done throughout the entire house, things that were not planned remodels and restructuring of things and cosmetic things. We're talking about, like, I am so grateful that I have a beautiful fluffy pillow to lay my head on when I'm going to sleep. And so in the pursuit of what we desire, we often will bypass what is already here. And this is all connected into your heart coherency. It's all connected into heart coherency, because your coherency within your heart is actually so much stronger than anything else that you embody. So what I'm going to invite you to is really allowing yourself to feel a higher level of service to yourself and to other people. A higher level of love, compassion, empathy, kindness, and forgiveness for yourself as well as other people. This is a very, very, very heart-centered time to be in right now because of the Lionsgate portal. There are frequency realignments happening within the coding of your DNA, and all it really wants to do is express a higher vibration so that you can be on the receiving end, that you can anchor into a safer embodiment of a more desirable identity of yourself. Because if you've ever been asked to, and this is actually a really good example, because I've been in this situation where I've done collaborations with other people and they would say to me, send me a quick bio on who you are and what you do. And all of a sudden, it's like deer in headlights. I'm like, what? What do I say? What do I do? How do I showcase what I do? How do I talk about myself? Who am I really, you know? And so those are actually like really easy ways for you to find out that, like, I guess I'm not really clear on this, or I guess I'm not really solid in this, in my body, or, you know, I'm afraid that if I boost myself up and I really put out there all of the incredible things that I am and that I do, that I'm going to seem cocky or arrogant or like a know-it-all, or, you know, somebody else might shrink in my presence, something like that. And this is where I'm going to also invite you to not worry about how other people digest what you do, because you are not here to be palatable for everybody. I am not here to be palatable for everybody. And it's so interesting because I'm coming up on 5 years in my business in September, and I can so see how certain things that were happening in my life altered how I presented myself in my business. Because if there was, let's say there was something going on where there was disharmony between myself and another family member that, you know, I really care about, that would absolutely impact how I would see myself in my business. It would impact how I would even share offers in my business. And if I felt like somebody was going to buy or if they weren't going to buy, How I would price things in my business would be changed based on something that I was going through with somebody else and feeling like, just feeling badly about it, not feeling good, feeling sad, feeling lost, feeling confused, not having clarity, feeling a sense of dissociation or detachment. So there are so many ways that we can do things in a healthy way. Like we can detach, we can so detach, but there are things within your nervous system and within your identity that will either allow that to happen or not allow that to happen based on the reasoning behind it. So it's interesting when people have said to me like, oh no, I've gotten really good at this. I'm actually, my boundaries are so strong. I feel so good. I don't talk to this person anymore. And I would be very cautious about that because honestly, like if there's something very traumatic going on and it's an abusive dynamic in a relationship, like it's probably very healthy for you to discontinue communication with this individual, to cut off communication if there's really, really unhealthy things that are going on. But I would also caution, like that would be a really good reason to detach from somebody. But I would also caution you to bypass people or to avoid situations because they make you uncomfortable or you don't know how to manage your emotions in them. Do you see how those two things are very, very different? It is different for me to say that like every time I'm around this person I get incredibly frustrated and I don't like the way they talk. I don't like their politics. I don't like what they do. I don't like the way that they expect things or the way they react to things, and I don't like the way that they treat me when they're in this way, blah 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 blah. And so it's very easy for us to be like, well, I'm just going to put up a boundary and I'm just never going to talk to them again, or I'm just not going to invite them over anymore, or I'm just not going to participate if they invite me into things. And so I want you to be very clear on the decisions that you're making, because the reason behind the decisions that you make, our mind's very freaking smart. And it will be very sneaky, and it will sneak things in there, and it will say like, look at you, you're doing such a good job. You completely avoided this and now you have a boundary. But why did you do it this way? Why are you going for this particular thing? Why does it have to be this way? What are you going for here? And so what I would ask of you is that you really look at the outcome that you desire. Okay? Like, what do you actually want as this outcome? And is it feasible? So if you want an outcome with a relative, a family member, a friend, a partner, a child, a parent, a coworker, like whoever it is in your life, and you're thinking to yourself, like, I just really want this relationship to look so different. What do you want? What is the outcome that you are actually looking for in this relationship? What do you envision happening? And then I want you to be really, really honest with yourself if you feel that you are able to actually step up to the plate to make this happen, knowing that the other person might not. The other person might not be able to make that happen. They might not have the level of consciousness that you have. They may not have done as much work on themselves as you have. Most people literally are just doing the best that they can. And a lot of the times, especially for those of us that have been on this transcendental ascension journey of spiritual development and healing and inner child and shadow work and discovering our gifts and really doubling down and going all in on ourselves. Like, there's a lot of people in your world that probably aren't doing that. And so it can feel like a very isolating journey. And then what happens is you start to look at the relationships that you have, you start to really feel the discomfort of that, and you start to realize like, this isn't what I wanted in this relationship. I actually wish it could be more. I actually wish that more was available. I wish that it could be different. I wish they could be different. And this is where it gets really tricky, because a lot of times we are not going to change people, and we are definitely not going to change anybody that doesn't want to be changed, or somebody who has not invited us into that space to support and facilitate that desired change. And so you're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it's going to feel like you are trying to shove round pegs through square holes. And this is where frustration comes from. This is where your anger comes from. This is from like, it can't make this work, and it's not going to happen. And then what happens is, because you have these emotional entanglements in your relationships, it starts to translate into other areas of your life that it don't need to be. It's like you're going to take that out on your kids. You're going to take that out on your work. You're going to project that energy into your clients. You're going to do things with that energy and that emotional attachment that you don't need. And it really reduces the frequency of your heart coherence. So during this time of Lionsgate, we are opening our hearts in a massive way. We are really opening our hearts here, whether you want to imagine that that is happening or not, okay? There are things, there are frequencies, there are particles of light that are steeped in the Sirius gateway energy. There, all from the star system of Sirius. There's energies coming in from all of these different planets that are transiting through right now. There are galactic beings, angels, goddesses, gods, all these different other beings that are also guiding your path forward. And so there are realignments that are happening within your spinal column right now as well. Realignments happening to your vertebrae, because your vertebrae is what gives you the support to move in this life. Okay? This is what keeps you up straight. It's what holds you in this erect position. It's what keeps your chakras aligned, and it is what keeps you moving in a forward direction. But at the base of your spine, there are cells from your conception. There are cells that are still there from the time that that little spark of life came into existence. It does not mean that your soul was there at that exact time. I don't actually feel like the soul of a human goes into that little spark of conception until months later, to be honest. But it's still your vessel. Your vessel was that spark of divine light that is created to hold and embody all of the design and the personality and the different things that are going to be there. It's like creating a roadmap for everything that's supposed to be there. And so during this time, I always feel like I get massive upgrades to my cellular structure, especially from the base of my spine and moving all the way up. And this is a beautiful place to receive upgrades and activations and recodes, because all of the different vertebrae connect into every different part of your body. So of course we want our brain and the way that we think, and we want our brain to be clean. We want our pineal gland to be nice and clean. We want all of the energy in this area to be really clean. And then we also want that cleanliness to be available in our organs and our tissue and our cell and our muscles, and all the way out into the largest organ, which is our skin. But everything that happens always starts from within, and it works its way out. And so a lot of times when we're trying to manage things that are on the outside of us that are difficult, it can feel really, really hard because it's not working. It doesn't feel like it's aligned. It's like pushing against the current, right? Like you're just fighting against this current. And so when you fight something and it's not working, we tend to fight even harder, put up even bigger, a bigger stink about it, and double down, and we're like, that's it, I'm going all in on this fight. And then you're exhausted, and you amplify the wrong frequency, and you activate the wrong energy, and you integrate the wrong patterning into your system, and the outcome of it is like, I want validation, I want to be right, but at the same time, I'm kind of stuck, and I don't really know where to go. So what I'm going to invite you to do is we're going to take a moment and breathe. We're going to take a moment and breathe, and I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So we're just going to pause. Whatever you're doing, as long as you are not driving. If you are driving, I'm going to invite you to either pull over or to just listen until you can get to a place where you can stop and come back to this and do it with me. So you don't need to be validated, and you don't need to be right. You do not need to be anything that other people want you to be. Take another deep breath in and out. And if you want, you can close your eyes, and I would invite you to also put your hand over your heart. The power of our human connection has been greatly underrated, especially with the development of technology and social media, and how we interact with each other as humans in this very digitalized age. And the truth is that the connection that we have to each other, and the connection that we have to just the collective, to humanity, to the people that surround us, is one of the greatest elements of your purpose. Because your purpose does not only include you. Your purpose is not all about you. Your purpose doesn't care about your thoughts, and your purpose doesn't care about how you get there. Your purpose is the alignment of how you serve and how you can do this at the greatest level. Being called to service without the need for recognition or validation. Being a support system, not out of, I'm going to give this so much time and so much energy. This is where the embodiment piece comes in. Like, people can just feel it walk into the room. They can just feel the presence of that supportive energy. Sometimes people just want to stand next to me, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe this has happened to you. Has it ever happened to you where somebody has said, I just feel really good being in your presence. I just feel really strong when I'm with you. I just feel really seen, heard, feel really loved. I've had people tell me that I just feel really safe next to you. I just feel like everything's going to be okay. I don't know why, I just do. And so that means that there's something in my energy field that feels safe and supportive and as a guiding force to other humans that may need it. So it's not about us taking so much time and so much energy to provide something for somebody, but it is about embodying a level of service to yourself and to other people, and feeling that very deeply within your heart space. Knowing that everything is coming from the coherence of your heart. So I want you to just place your hand on your heart. Take a couple of very deep cleansing breaths. Just release the pressure of the week. Release the pressure of your mind. Release the pressure to go and do things. And as you find that center, I want you to also tap into the spine, the vertebrae. Because the spinal column that connects into your mind, connects into your root, also connects into your heart. And we call forth the higher frequencies of Sirius. We allow those golden particles of light to move through the atmosphere, to pass by the sun, to pass through any other planets that are over there that want to also share their wisdom, their light, their love, their frequency. You may also feel the symbol of the Ankh. The Ankh is the symbol of eternal life. It's an amplification of your life force for all time, because even though you may change forms, you are always. There's nothing that discontinues your being. I am that I am. I want you to give yourself a moment to feel nanoparticles of light, subatomic particles of light filtering into the atmosphere that are coated with DNA upgrades, revitalizing the expression of your cellular memory and its capabilities of what it can do, what it represents, what it's here for, the purpose that it serves, that has nothing to do with you. Recognizing that the connection that you have as a human is of service. This is your life's work. I want you to hold something in your mind's eye, and it's somebody that you love, it's something that you love. It could be a pet, it could be a person, it could be a thing, a place, but something that you just hold so deeply within your heart, like Every time you picture this, you feel it, you think of it, you're near it, like the kind of love that is so deep and so profound that it brings tears to your eyes. As these light particles are streaming in and activating you, I want you to hold this imagery. I want you to hold this frequency. I want you to hold that vision in your mind and in your heart. And I want you to give yourself permission to bubble over with love, to bubble over with excitement, to feel that true connection, to release any expectation around it, to release any type of responsibility around it, but just to feel that, to know the truth of it, and the shared energetic cord. Because we all have cords, we all have energetic cords. And that same love that you are feeling for whatever this is, I want you to now take that and I want you to put it within you, for you. All of the love that you poured through, feeling that person, feeling that thing, that animal, whatever it is, I want you to actually redirect it inward, and I want you to let it pour into you and fill you up like a beautiful well of crystalline water. And I want you to feel that well and how low it was, and now starting to rise up higher and higher and higher, feeling those waters rise up higher and higher and higher within you, crystalline waters that purify and cleanse, transmute. Feels like 1,000,000 sparkling diamonds within these crystalline waters. And I want you to feel it rising up into your heart, allowing your heart to overflow with love, overflowing with the intelligence of love. Your heart intelligence, your heart coherency, knowing the full embodiment of that without having to think about it, just knowing it and letting it drop into your body. If there is resistance, that is okay. Just take note of what that resistance is saying to you and write it down later. So this is something you can work through. And as the water fills all the way up now, all the way up to the top of your head, you never have to worry about not being able to breathe in this water, because the crystalline frequencies allow you to breathe in this water. You are safe. You're like a mermaid. There is nothing to fear. Your heart leads. It is the lighthouse. It is the compass. It is the wisdom. It is the all-knowing. And it is the guide to your purpose. So take another couple of deep breaths in. Feel the safety, the light, the supportiveness coming from beneath you, holding you, your foundation in place very securely, reinforcing your spine, the strength of your spine, the coherence of your spine, and its intelligence as it speaks through your body wisdom, your nervous system. And we can thank our angels and our guides and our loved ones in spirit, our galactic family. I have felt a lot of very interesting things over the past week or so. And so I felt like it was really important for me to hop in here today and share this with you. And I hope that this feels very supportive to you as well during this portal. And there will be more things to come. So stay tuned. If you feel like this has been helpful, please share what you experienced in the comments. Let me know if you are here on the replay. Let me know if there was resistance, be vulnerable, go there. Oh my God, Thor, stop. We have a thunderstorm coming in, so he's about to lose his mind. So take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Allow you to just ground your energy back into your body. I invite you to continue to feel like that crystalline, sparkling diamond energy around you. You can let that well just fill up your entire auric field and let it just reach out into the world to express like a true expression of love and of just kindness, compassion, and empathy. The collective is going through a massive transformation, an enormous paradigm shift right now. So the more that we can really just be so clear and honest with ourselves, even when it's tough, it's really just going to help us all move forward. If anybody has questions or is interested in actually doing more with this, please let me know. I'm very, very, very excited about the different downloads and the experiences that I've had recently, because honestly, the past few months have been a little challenging for me personally. And so it's not as though I had shut spirit out, but there were times in my life this year that I have questioned whether or not I would continue to channel spirit or bring in messages of spirit or continue to show up when nobody's there, just by myself. Here I am. And this has probably been one of the hardest years I've gone through in a long time. And so I'm not going to let anything stop me, and I'm going to keep showing up. And Spirit has made it very clear that my purpose has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with what is happening outside of me. But I have to really take such wonderful and beautiful care of myself in order to bring it all into coherency. And it really does, anchor into the heart. So if this was, helpful to you, please let me know. And I hope that you have a great weekend. And I hope that you're enjoying this portal and that there are so many other things to be shared. And I am thinking about doing a channeling on the 8th. I'll have to consult a little bit more clearly on what it is that they have in mind. But I haven't made a final decision about that yet. So stay tuned, really stay tuned. And if you feel that other people would benefit this based on what they're going through and what they believe, please feel free to invite them into this container. Okay. I love you guys. And I hope you have a really great rest of your Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Have fun. Get out there. Stay very hydrated, but hopefully you'll be doing something that feels really good in your body. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.